Hello everyone, my name is Xiaolu Ma. Today we are going to talk about obtaining informed consent. Obtaining informed consent includes 6 contents. And in this section we will learn the first one, information essential for consent. The phenomenon of informed consent was formally defined in the first principle of the Nuremberg Code. The definition of informed consent from the Nuremberg Code provides the basis for the discussion of consent in all consequent research codes and has general acceptance in the research community. Informed consent involves the researcher disclosing essential information and the potential subject being mentally competent and able to comprehend that information. The subject must also freely volunteer to participate. Each prospective subject is provided a statement that he or she is being asked to participate in research and a description of the purpose and the expected duration of participation in the study. For example, in clinical nursing research, the patient serving as a subject must know which nursing activities are research activities and which are routine nursing interventions. Researchers need to describe the research variables and procedures or mechanisms that will be used to observe, examine, manipulate, or measure these variables. In addition, we must inform prospective subjects about when the study procedures will be implemented, how many times, and in what setting. And the funding sources of a study, such as specific individuals, organizations, or companies. Prospective subjects must be informed about any foreseeable risks or discomforts, for example, physical, emotional, social, or economic, that might result from the study. And they also must know how the risks of a study were minimized and the benefits maximized. If a study involves greater than minimal risk, it is a good idea to encourage prospective subjects to consult another person regarding their participation, such as a friend, family member, or another nurse. In addition, researchers may require a delay between discussing the study and signing the informed consent document so that subjects can thoughtfully consider their decision before agreeing. And you should describe any benefits to the subject or to others that may be expected from the research. And the study might benefit the current subjects or might generate knowledge that will provide evidence-based care to patients and families in the future. Study participants must receive a disclosure of alternatives related to their participation in a study. They must be informed about appropriate alternative procedures or courses of treatment, if any, that might be advantageous to them. For example, nurse researchers examine the effect of a distraction intervention on the chronic pain of patients with arthritis would need to make potential subjects aware of other alternatives for pain management available to them. Prospective subjects must be assured that the confidentiality of their records and protected health information will be maintained during and following their study participation. Thus, subjects need to know that their response and the information obtained from their records during a study will be kept confidential and that their identities will remain anonymous in presentation, reports, and publications of the study findings. For research involving more than minimal risk, prospective subjects must be given an explanation as to whether any comprehensive or medical treatment or both would be available if injury should occur. If medical treatments are available, the person obtaining consent must describe the type and extent of the treatments. Potential subjects also need to know whether they will receive a small financial payment, for example, $10 to $30, or other equivalent incentive to compensate them for time and effort related to study participation. As a conscientious researcher, you need to offer to answer any questions that the prospective subjects may have during the consent process. Study participants also need an explanation of whom to contact for answers to questions about the research during the conduct of the study and of whom to contact in the event of a research-related problem or injury, as well as how to do so. The healthcare facility or university IRB to which you are submitting your materials will have specific contact information to include. A non-cursive disclaimer is a statement that participation is voluntary and refusal to participate will involve no penalty or loss of benefits to which the subject is entitled. This statement can facilitate a more positive relationship between you and your prospective subjects, especially if their relationship has a potential for cohesion. Subjects may discontinue participation in or may withdraw from a study at any time without penalty or loss of benefits. However, at the time of consent, researchers do have the right to ask subjects whether they think that they will be able to complete the study to decrease the number of the subjects withdrawing early. There may be circumstances under which the subject's participation may be terminated by the researcher without regard to the subject's consent. For example, if a particular treatment becomes potentially dangerous to a subject, you as a researcher have an obligation to continue the subject's participation in the study. Thus, it is necessary to describe for prospective subjects the circumstances under which they might be withdrawn from the study and to make general statement about the circumstances that could lead to termination of the entire project. This is especially important in therapeutic research. And in some studies, subjects experience incompletely disclosure of study information or are not completely informed of the study purpose because that knowledge would alter their actions. However, prospective subjects must know that certain information is being withheld deliberately. The researcher must ensure that there are no undisclosed risks to the subjects that are more than minimal and their questions are truthfully answered regarding the study. Subjects who are exposed to non-disclosure of information must know when and how they will be debriefed about the study. Subjects are debriefed by informing them of the accurate purpose of the study and the results that were obtained. At this point, subjects have the option to have their data withdrawn from the study. And that's all for this section. Thanks for your time.